Good evening and welcome to the regular December 8th, 2008 meeting of the City of Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. I am honored to be the acting chair of the commission since our former chair had to step down due to her appointment to the bench at the LA Superior Court. Before we have a roll call tonight, I would like to take note that Wednesday, December the 10th, is International Human Rights Day, a day of remembrance which is celebrated annually across the world. The date was chosen to honor the United Nations General Assembly's adoption and proclamation 60 years ago on December 10, 1948, of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the first global enunciation of human rights. The commemoration was established in 1950 when the General Assembly invited all states and interested organizations to celebrate the day as they saw fit. Thank you. Ms. Haddad, could you call roll, please?
Commissioner Katafian? Commissioner Lamel?
Here.
Commissioner Malakian?
Here.
Commissioner Manasarian?
Here.
Commissioner Monacut?
Here.
Commissioner Sobey?
Here.
Commissioner Walker? And Chair Devine.
Here. Next item, please.
Brief report regarding the posting of the agenda. The agenda for the December 8th, 2008 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before December 5th, 2008.
Do we have any amendments to the, or corrections to the minutes tonight?
Do you want to ask for the next item?
Next item.
And we're going to be skipping presentations because our presentation is not yet arrived. So the next item on the agenda is agenda item 5, which is oral comment. And at this time you have no cards. Is that true?
Correct. There's no one.
Next item on the agenda is consent items with agenda item 6A, approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on November 10th, 2008.
And again, do we have any corrections or amendments to the minutes from any of the commissioners?
No.
Okay, shall we take, are we ready to take a vote on those? Motion to accept? Approve? Second. Next item.
Another call to
Is
vote?
it unanimous consensus?
Yes.
Yes. Next item.
Next item on the agenda is agenda 7A1, consideration and discussion of the Jules 2009 with the final budget proposal. Agenda item 7A1A, motion approving the Jules 2009 final budget.
Okay, very good. I know that planning has been going on for this event, and I would like to ask the lead, Commissioner Lamel, if you have any report to give to us tonight. Any information that you...
Well, we had decided on a new banquet facility. I'm just not sure if the contract has been negotiated and signed. And the date, of course, March the 26th. It's really about as far as we've gotten because we wanted to make sure that we had the venue in place. Unless, Commissioner Walker, did you have anything you wanted to add? Report for Jules?
That we're updating the flyers for the save the date and doing some of the press releases and networking with different organizations and especially promoting the Jewels of Glendale nomination forms. So,
Okay, do any of the commissioners have any comments or questions that you would like to ask?
Oh, I might add one other thing that our committee for sponsorship did meet, and we are working on a letter for that, as well as a very long list of potential sponsors that could help us with Jewels of Glendale.
Good. Ms. Haddad did provide a letter this evening for us to take a look at. You probably haven't had a chance to do that, but I just wanted to let you know that it is here. Does anyone have any questions about the budget or any of the information that we have here?
I just want to comment that I think Ms. Haddad did an excellent job trying to, look at the history, what happened, the differential. I appreciate that. And then also doing the projections for the budget for next year. Really detailed.
And the letterhead, the new letterhead looks really great.
So much cleaner, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I love that. Is it possible to put the city seal at the top like we had before, or that's a little more difficult?
It's not that it's difficult, it just looked cluttered, and I know you were interested in having a really clean look. I can play with it a little bit and be happy to send you some samples.
Okay.
I think the city seal would be good.
Yeah, maybe we could eliminate
Official.
the other logo of the person with the star over their head. Maybe you can switch it out.
Send you some options.
Okay, thank you.
I just would like to say that I like that idea too, but let's do it as quickly as possible, because I think the sooner we get these out,
Oh, yes.
the Christmas mail is starting to come already, and if we start sending these letters out later on in the year, they're going to get lost in the mail. People tend to open things quickly and then just throw them. So I think the expediency is real important here. I have one question, if no one else has any. What is the minimum number of guests that we have to guarantee to Anoush? Is that in the contract at all?
I didn't see a minimum number in the contract, Chair Devine. I know that we were anticipating about 400 guests, but the projections with that were included in the report never quite got to 400, even with really, really aggressive marketing. So it'll be interesting to see what we do. And that wasn't actually accounting for any of the comps that will be there for like a representative from every elected office, for example. So that's 3 or 4 that would be there. But it really is not going to be very many comps, because even City Council pays to come to the event.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we don't have, that there's not like a 300 minimum or 400 minimum, and then we get 300 and we have to pay for.
No.
Okay, so there's no minimum, so we're
Usually-
safe there. Okay.
Usually only if there's a bar or there's a minimum for
Okay.
for alcoholic beverages, and we're not going to.
And I think one of the positive aspects in getting Anoush is that parking is included, is it?
Yes.
Commissioner Lamel, yeah.
Great.
On the issue of parking, it's actually a $6 fee for every guest who comes in to park. That is not waived, so the
it's
guest will
not.
be paying $6 to park. But there isn't, the 750 was an estimation from last year's cost for the valet parking, but this year there is no cost to the commission, it's just a $6 fee for every guest.
Okay, I would like to also take this opportunity to encourage all the commissioners on behalf of Commissioner Manasarian, to be sure that we get our sponsorships, that we go out there and eagerly pursue sponsorships. We doubled the sponsorship levels this year, so it's going to be a task that we're all going to have to cooperate on. And also, even more importantly, is to make sure that we sell individual tickets, because if we're aiming for 400, the only way we're going to get 400 is if we really go out and sell to our friends, invite our friends and relatives, or and anyone who would like to come. It should be. I'm really looking forward to it. It sounds like a great plan that you have, and but we have to work really hard. Commissioner Manasarian?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I'll be contacting each of you individually and going over the past sponsors as well as the future ones. So you'll be getting a call from me as well as Commissioner Lamel. So.
And let's not forget that we should start collecting our silent auction items at the same time.
Right, and that brings me to another point with the loss of Commissioner Curlin. Do we have the spots filled that she was assuming responsibility for, the swag and the, most importantly, the silent auction?
I think the assistant chair for silent auction is Commissioner Sobey, and for the swags, I'm helping, and Commissioner Katafian. So maybe what we can do is bump up the assistants.
Are they for that? Or are you?
Well, we can. I certainly can assist, and then we have our new student commissioners. I'm sure that would be very helpful.
Yes. Okay. And of course, I'll be there. I can help.
Yeah, and
Any of them.
with the database that I have specifically for silent auction, it's really going to be easy. Everything will,
Like we just
will be
plug in
yes,
new material.
Exactly, yeah, and then it'll print out receipts. It'll print out the descriptions for the items and so on. So basically what I need for whoever is going to chair the silent auction is to put the descriptions, a short blurb about that, so I can start putting it. And if we have maybe some of the items from last time, maybe some of the, for instance, I'm thinking some of the donation items that I've given, then, we can just include the same descriptions.
Because they're the same items.
Yeah, exactly. Some are repetitive.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So is that a commitment then from Commissioner Sobey that you will assume the lead for?
And we're talking about Susie helping?
Yes.
Did we? That would be wonderful with her support.
I'll be happy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Good. Yes.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sobey, okay.
Sure.
So are we pretty well set on the leads then for that, Commissioners?
We just need to double check for the swag whether Commissioner Katafian can take care of that.
Okay. Can we do
Because
that?
at this point, I think all of us have a committee that we're heading, so.
Ms. Haddad?
I just wanted to speak to the speakers, actually, to make sure that both of them, as we understand, are confirmed at this point. So just to make a note of that so that people are aware.
Well, no, it's not completely confirmed. We
But
won't-
one of the speakers is not. Okay.
January we'll have a complete confirmation. The interest is very high.
Okay, that's awesome.
Great. Okay.
But Molly Barker has been confirmed.
Right. All right. So if you have any more questions that, Commissioners, that you need to have answered or that you need to ask, please call Ms. Haddad or Commissioner Manasarian or Walker. Just remember to go out and do the best we can with the sponsorships and the silent auction items.
May I add one final thing? We talked about the public relations, publicity, or advertising budget. Did you come up with the figure for that? Or
Was included in the budget, and what?
Well, I just thought maybe you had that.
On
It's 1,000.
It's $1,000. We're looking for publicity, about $1,000 for graphics, and then some money for postage, because that's gone up significantly since last year.
And how do we handle the media buy? Is that something that you'd like me to be a part of, to negotiate the media buys?
Well, we still haven't seen the packages that we're going to be developed in terms of like what the media is going to get and what they're going to give. And so once we have that established, so that we can go out to our resources as well as the ones that you've got contacts with. I think last year, if I'm correct in my recollection, we actually only worked with the news press. That's correct, right?
That's correct.
And that was actually, we got a really good response from them.
Right. And that was just bylines. It wasn't actually buying an ad. So all the publicity that we got was from that paper and word of mouth and invitations and internet.
Yeah, I'd like to expand that just a little bit more, since we are expecting more people, or would like to have more people there, and just have a sort of a schedule of when we can put ads or editorials and that type of thing to put together a list for you. Schedule.
I just want to caution to make sure it's cost effective, that we sell as many tickets as we spend for ads, and that would be great.
Yeah, if the
Okay,
budget is
perfect.
1,000, it would be within that.
Perfect.
The maximum amount, sure.
And I think if each one of us contacts also our local ethnic newspaper groups, that's also going to help, and start posting it on online community calendars, and that's something that I can help. So, and those are free.
Right.
So with regards to the media buys, to get to your question, Commissioner O'Malley, we could work with our PIO in our office, with a public information officer for the city. But if there's something specific that you're negotiating with a paper, we would just need to talk about it. So.
Okay, that's what I mean, yes.
Okay.
The other question that I have is, I still haven't checked our CSW website, so is there updated information regarding Jewels of Glendale on our website?
The pictures from last year
Yes.
will be posted by December 15th.
Okay. And nomination forms are...
That's it. The link is
uploaded
actually
there?
active already.
Okay, great. And maybe we can, once I finish the flyer, we can upload it, save the date.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
And maybe other links to some of the press releases that we've had in the past. That would be helpful.
Those are already included on the website.
Okay, great.
Do we need a motion for the budget to be approved as is? Can we get a roll call on that vote? Motion? Accept the budget as is?
I so move.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Katafian, Lamel,
Yes.
Anasarian,
Yes.
Toby?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Divine?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is agenda item 7.2. Since our presentation has arrived, we're going to be moving back to agenda item 4. We'd like to invite former Commissioner and now Judge Curlin to the podium and a presentation for an outgoing Commissioner.
Good evening.
Hello.
Funny to be on this side.
This is, I have to say, this is a bittersweet moment. We're all, I know, happy for you, but very saddened that you have to leave the commission to take up this new journey in your life. And we're happy to have a mayor's commendation for you, and I'll read it.
Oh, great.
Presented to Carla Curlin, Commission on the Status of Women, December 2003 to November 2008, 5 years. With gratitude for your distinguished leadership and dedication to the City of Glendale, your willingness to share your expertise has greatly enhanced the success of this commission. Signed, John Draymond, Mayor. Commissioner Manasarian is going to present that to you, and I would like, you're welcome. While she's bringing that down to you, I'd like to invite my fellow commissioners, if they would like to say a word.
Actually, I would. If
Okay, please.
I just wanted to really thank
She wants to take
Anna for all her years of dedication, and everything you've done for women and the status of women. And wish you luck in your future endeavors, and we're proud of you as a
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Lamel?
I'd like to congratulate and send you best wishes on your new venture. I know you did wonderful. We're sorry to lose you.
I so liked what you said at your swearing in and enrobing ceremony to your children when you said you certainly hope your efforts will help provide a safer world for them, and that would extend to all of us. So thank you for those words. I'll miss you.
Thank you.
And I would like to thank Chair Curlin. I still call you Chair Curlin. Former Chair Curlin, for the leadership that she's provided with the commission in terms of advocacy, especially for women's rights, political, economic literacy, and so on. And she's really guided the commission from its embryonic stage to the stage where we are right now, and we're indebted to you in that manner. And also for being an inspiration to a lot of young women, and also to your fellow women, and as an inspiration to your fellow co-commissioners.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'd like to add my congratulations. I didn't mention that she was appointed a L.A. Superior Court judge, and I just want to tell you that I've worked with you for 3 years. It's been an honor. You're brilliant, and I know you're going to be a fantastic judge, fair and honest and ethical, and all the good things that judges should be. And I congratulate you and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do I say something?
You may. Please.
It is indeed bittersweet. I've had an excellent run with this commission, and I really put my heart and soul in it, and I feel very, very strongly about this commission and its work. And I really wanted to finish out my term and be the one who did my full 6-year term, but it wasn't possible because you can't hold 2 appointed public offices at the same time. So understandably so, and I need to focus on my new job and all that entails until I sort of master those skills. I am thrilled beyond belief that CDOT passed, and that's something that Ms. Haddad and I talked about for years, and it was always a question of when do we bring it up and when do we go forward with it, and we had other more urgent and pressing things to deal with that were more local concern, and it finally seemed like we had established ourselves and our reputation and that the time was right. And I think that's really a huge coup, and it should not be missed that this commission was able to get unanimous support from our city council, and kudos to them for recognizing this important piece of legislation. And I think it's a huge thing to have Glendale sign on and show its support for CEDA. I had a lot of good ideas over the years, and I would always call Lana and say, I don't know if this is a really good idea or a really bad idea. And some she would say, they're good ideas, and she would take the ball and run with them. And I think we had a really good working relationship, which helped contribute to the success of getting a lot of these ideas executed. Sometimes she'd say, not a good idea, and so we would table that, or she would very diplomatically suggest another way to go about it. Vice Chair Devine, you're you're now the chair, and I'm glad to see you rise to that position. You really deserve it. You've done an outstanding amount of work, and you know what? Even if I had a great idea, you can't execute that yourself or alone with staff. It takes a whole commission, and it takes everybody to work together to bring those ideas to fruition. And so I want to thank you all for your hard work. And I'm not going to be one of those commissioners that you never see again. I'll be at the Jewels, and I'll be, unless I'm at judges training, which is that week, but I'm looking at other dates. But I will be at future events, and if there's any way that I can support you appropriately, I will continue to do so, so don't hesitate to call. Thank you.
And don't forget that line is still open to Ms. Haddad and to all of us, okay, with your ideas, brilliant as they are.
I talk to her every day. It was an established relationship. We could just say, well, see ya.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
thank
good
you
luck.
very much.
Good luck.
Thank
Much
you.
luck. Yeah. Okay, Ms. Haddad, next item.
You've received a card for oral comment.
Would you like to do that now, shall we?
Would you like to do that now?
I would like to do that now. So
I'd like to invite Dr.
yes,
Carol
I have
Burton.
one card for oral communication, and that is Dr. Carol Ann Burton
Would you like?
from the YWCA.
Hello, everyone. I'm here
Hi.
to reinforce that I invited you all to join. I am president of the board at the YWCA, and we invited you to come and join us this coming Sunday at my house for our holiday celebration. I also thought I would use this opportunity because we've been hearing that there's some communication through a group at the Seroptimist that there was some issues related to the shelter. And I wanted to reiterate that the only shelter that's closed, unfortunately, is Hamilton Court. Our emergency shelter, we'd like to say, is unfortunately full at this time. All 10 beds are occupied. That is our emergency shelter that has the 24-hour hotline. And our Women's Service Center that provides the services to women sort of on an outreach basis is completely fully open with all its legal services, the parenting classes, the ESL. And so we are fully functional for any of things that come up, especially in this time with the recession and financial things. It seems to somehow lead to an increase in domestic violence, and if people have need, we want them to come and seek us out. So we are there. So again, we want you all to come and join us this Sunday, and we look forward to collaborating in April again for the Take Back the Night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Burton. I'd like to thank you for coming tonight and using the commission forum to clear up the rumors, because I, of course, heard them last week and then again towards the end of the week. So we all appreciate the fact that you have that feeling for this commission, that you are able to come and use this as a platform. And
Well, I appreciate your allowing us to, because it's so
Absolutely.
hard to keep, you hear things, and it's so hard to dissipate the rumors.
Right. Well, we're glad that you're open. And one more thing before you go. And do any of the other commissioners have anything to say to Dr. Burton? Any comments? No?
Actually, I would like to thank Dr. Burton and the YWCA for all the great work they're doing. I referred somebody, again, this week to your center, Women's Center. So, keep the good work, keep up the good work, and thank you for what you're doing.
And I had one more comment, and I received your flyer, as I think we probably all did, and this is the season of giving.
Yes.
And you have, of course, a wish list for the YWCA, and it's very, very lovely. It says, would you be one of our angels and help fulfill our shelter, client, and office wishes and needs? And I know the commission tries to do something for you each Christmas. But, there are women out there watching and families, and perhaps you could go over a couple of the wishes that you have. And, since it is Christmas and it's the holidays and time for giving, maybe someone out there would like to contribute.
Well,
what do you need?
Maybe she needs a list.
Would you like to?
if you can pass me that,
I can,
you could read
I
that.
can just go ahead.
Since you
All right.
have it,
I do.
I don't want to
I don't want to
misstate our actual wish list. So
Okay,
if
well,
you can-
there are, I remember last year when the commission did our basket, and one of the wishes that the mother had was for a box of laundry detergent. I will never forget that. Something as simple as that was a Christmas gift that she wanted. But among other things on the list are pots and pans, and twin mattresses, towel sets, first aid kits, strollers, car seats, vacuum cleaners. I'm going to give her mine. I'm going to donate mine. No, I'm kidding. Pillows and pillowcases, diapers, one-piece the swimming pool toys, pickup trucks, working trucks, and just the simplest of things. And if everybody that's watching out there could donate, like just maybe a towel or a blanket or a warm sweater, would be wonderful to the YWCA. Where would they bring that?
Our location is 735 East Lexington Avenue. We're across the street from Whole Foods. And as you go in, the part that has the sign above, right as you get in, we have the New to You thrift shop. And we recently advertised through the internet, and the business has been increasing fourfold. People are coming in, and they actually have Christmas sales, so it's a great place to pick up bargains.
Okay. Calling all angels.
So just come in there, and if you go to where the New to You, they'll direct you where things can be dropped off.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Burton.
you so much.
Welcome. And we'll see you at the party.
All right.
Next item, please, Ms. Haddad.
Next item on the agenda is agenda item 7A2, consideration and discussion of a strategic plan for 2009 through 2014, with a motion to provide direction regarding the strategic plan. What's actually coming before you today is the first draft of the strategic plan as scheduled for your review and comment and feedback, so we can further refine it and bring it back to you in January for final adoption.
Did anyone have any, commissioners, any questions or additions? This is a 5-year plan. We did our best. Commissioner Walker, thank you for your time in doing that with Ms. Haddad and myself, trying to add some of your ideas and thoughts. And I hope that, or we all hope that we got this right for you. And again, if you have any questions, revisions, anything you'd like added or taken off, now is the time. So I'm opening this for discussion, please.
I had a comment,
Okay. Commissioner
Chair
Massey.
Devine, sure. First of all, thank you, Commissioner Walker and Commissioner Devine, for doing such a great job. And went over it, read it, and it's very thorough and complete. Thank you very much. One thing, however, that I wanted to add was that the programs, the signature programs that we had, last year we had women, was it called Women at the Table, or which I thought was a wonderful program. And we introduced women in our community to different commissions and positions that are available in the city. So I thought that would be something that we might want to add as our signature programs in our strategic plan and have it as an ongoing program.
And that's an excellent suggestion and reminder. And I believe in our previous meetings, we did talk about doing it on a yearly basis because of the success that we've had, and also because of the need for doing that.
Suggestion.
Okay. I think it's a good one, very good one, and we'll take that. head on. Any other comments about the strategic plan? It is a broad sweep of plans, so any other comments?
I like the way the goals are so well laid out under strategic planning, communication, programs and policy development. I like the way those areas are broken down.
Yes, I'd like to commend you and, Chair Devine and Commissioner Walker and everyone else who's worked on it. Ms. Haddad, I think you did a great job on this. I'm wondering where there's an area about building alliances, because I know there's other community-based groups and service organizations. Would that include maybe the Chamber of Commerce as well?
I think we tried to put that in to create a broader based group by one of them says to build alliances and collaborate with community-based organizations and schools, and then we took that a step further to local businesses and merchant groups, and I think that's kind of what we were intending. Am I correct, Ms. Haddad?
That is, but we could certainly add, and local chambers of commerce as well.
Okay.
I mean, that would be, because that's different from merchant groups, and it's also different from individual businesses, so.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Lamel. Any other additions?
If we are going to have further work, and that this is indeed our first draft, I'd like to help out on that. I realize I had a conflict during our first meeting, so I'd like to continue work
Okay,
with committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Sobey. Is any other comments?
I think it's a really well laid out plan with specific areas of focus, the aims, and then the goals. And again, it's easy to read, so we would really definitely encourage the community to read it. It's really, easy reading to familiarize the community with the goals and objectives that we have. And I know this is the first draft and broad discussion and incursion into, our strategic plan. But maybe eventually, once we, immerse ourselves in terms of the goals and objectives, maybe we can develop specific strategic plan structure in terms of the what, the timeline, who's responsible for, and benchmarks if to make it really tighter.
Right,
That's my
right.
suggestion.
And I'm sure that's what will happen as we get into applying these. This will be, this is only the text. It's going to be published, bound, and then distributed and presented to the City Council for their review. And then we'll, and as you can see at the back, is each goal has, if I read this correctly, has the programs that actually satisfy each one. Was that in your packet? Ms. Haddad, is that in there, where you go through the programs?
You have the signature programs?
Yes, where each one, we have the Camp Rosie and the 31 days. So the programs are more or less laid out for you in there, but of course we'll be adding and taking, basically going by this, but adding to it. So do we need a motion to approve the document with the revision of Commissioner Manasarian? We'll have a motion.
Madam
Oh,
Chair,
yes.
you're actually looking for further direction, so you're not really approving the draft, but motion directing the staff with additional comments, maybe incorporating the comments that were stated here, or any other direction that you want to give. So you're not really approving the draft, but just providing direction.
Okay, so so the direction would be to continue working on the draft, adding Commissioner Manasarian's suggestion and refining towards our final goal of this printable, the published.
In my
And
comments.
Commissioner, yes, and Commissioner Lamel's.
So the motion is to incorporate the comments that were made here and to bring back a final draft.
Yes. Do I have a motion to that effect?
I just have one question before.
Oh.
Will there be another maybe meeting of getting, because I'd like to...
Yes.
And I would like to be a part of
I would
that.
like to be a part of that as well before we go to a final draft.
Is that number doable, or would we have to
Four
post
is
the
not
meeting?
doable. It would be, the committee is actually already established by the commission. So the report, though, before it's finalized, will be coming back to the commission in January. Get a chance to review it and give feedback again before it's finalized.
Well, can we just submit something?
Absolutely.
To the committee?
Yes,
Okay, I would like to do that, so, yes.
Can other, I just have a question in terms of the protocol, because it's different when it's face-to-face communication versus, people just giving in their information. And I know that in the committee, it's Chair Devine, Commissioner Manasarian, myself, and Commissioner Sobey. No,
No,
okay.
it's myself,
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Sobey.
Okay. Yeah,
and-
policy and planning.
Yes, that's right. We're on committee. Yes, right.
Okay. Would it be possible for the other commissioners to just attend some of the brainstorming sessions and not vote on it? I'm not sure.
That venue is, that would be appropriate for right now, for example, to brainstorm now, throw out ideas now, so that you're all talking about the public business of the commission in a public venue.
Ms. Vertepian?
And additionally, your meetings are open to the public, so the other commissioners who are not appointed by the commission to be committee members, they can attend and participate as members of the public, but they wouldn't participate with a vote, for example, if you wanted to include something into the draft. So they would have the opportunity to comment just like any member of the public.
I think that would be excellent to include them.
Is there a date when you'll meet again?
We'll be setting that up shortly.
And our targeted goal for the final submission is
January.
January.
Ms. Haddad, we're projecting to bring this back to the January meeting, or are we going to postpone it now until February, since we'll be doing extra meetings with extra people, more people? When do we?
Well, we haven't scheduled a committee meeting
Right,
yet,
I
as
know.
of yet. So
Yes.
it depends on that, on when you decide to set up the committee meeting. And then it will either be January or February that the meeting.
Probably with the holidays, we probably won't be able to schedule one before the January meeting, or we might have one before the meeting, but, it's kind of,
January does come
Yeah.
kind of early, the 12th.
yeah, so it'll probably come back in February, and
Okay. I think that would be good to give us enough time and have that meeting, the post-first draft meeting, on January, and then target the February proposal to the City Council.
well, we can try.
Yeah.
We can try to do that, yes. Okay.
You're looking concerned. Does that
No,
give you enough time?
I'm just curious. It's okay. I'm just having some thoughts, but I can't articulate them quite yet, so it's okay.
Okay, so do we need we need a motion to,
I understood your motion to be for staff to incorporate the comments that were made here and to return to the next meeting with a proposed final draft.
okay?
That's what I heard, although that motion wasn't made yet.
So
Okay.
for clarity, what I'm understanding is to include the Women at the Table event as one of our signature events. Potentially expand that, include the revision of adding chambers of commerce into the community groups that we're doing, and then maybe tighten up and start looking at some benchmarking. This document really is intended to be a little bit broader than that, a little higher level than that. So we can talk over that within the committee for a final detail. The thing that is a little confusing for me right now is the committee conversations that happened to lead up to this point. When this document is presented to the commission, this is the opportunity for a larger commission feedback, so that it doesn't have to happen at a committee meeting, but the commission meetings are those venues as well. So that this would be an opportunity as well for other people to comment, including the public, including commissioners, including the students, on what the substance of the report should include or could be revised to, or things like that. So I think there was maybe just some miscommunication about the process of committee structure, the way that it works vis-a-vis the commission and the committee. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. So then what we're looking at is a motion to come back in January after meeting and including Commissioner Lamel's and Commissioner Manasarian's additions, and then present it to City Council hopefully in February, if possible.
One moment, please.
Okay.
We're just trying to clarify what it is what your intent is. Is it your intent to finalize the motion and come back in January for additional comments?
Yes, I think that was what you decided was the consensus was that
Okay.
we were going to bring this back in January and then perhaps have it ready for February.
Okay.
that correct?
If you're just providing direction to staff, we've heard that, and we won't really need a motion. If you do
Okay.
want to make it more formal, you can certainly adopt a motion at this time to do that. So it's really at your discretion.
Oh, okay.
You can formalize that and insist that we bring this back by way of a motion at the January meeting, and certainly we can do
Yes,
that.
I would like to do that. Formalize it and have a motion to bring it back in January.
But we were going to have one more meeting,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Before we bring it back.
Yes.
In January.
So it doesn't matter of directing staff to include it, so
Yeah.
I think they're going to bring it back to us.
Yes,
so
you are.
Maybe
Okay. All right, then we'll just
we
go
don't
with...
really need the formal motion.
You don't want a formal
yeah.
motion? Okay, no formal
Just
motion.
the
We'll
direction to
Yeah.
staff.
Direction to
Because it's
staff.
just direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, next item.
Agenda item 7A3, the CSW Master Calendar of Events. Motion 7A3A, motion to provide direction regarding the master calendar. There is a slight difference in the way the calendar has been presented. Right now, you have this month before you, but we went ahead and did a forecast of 2009. Given the Commission's decision to focus on women's health, you'll notice there are some new ideas for activities, also sort of highlighting some of the months and their health focus in terms of that would be the filter through which the Commission's activities will be sort of coming through next year.
Are there any questions or additions or comments on the calendar? Now, if we make a motion to adopt this calendar, are we adopting the 2009 as well, Ms. Haddad?
Yes.
Okay. If you take a look at 2009, we have a few additions, because it is, our focus will be women's health. You notice that February is Health Month, which it usually is, and May will become Bone Health Month. We're going to have a focus on osteoporosis next year. If you look in October, we have World Osteoporosis Day. Also in October, because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we're going to do a Mammogram Awareness Day. These are just some of the ideas that we're kind of throwing around. In conjunction with, in March, Stroke Awareness Month, because we're supporting the Girls on the Run program, we thought that perhaps it would be fun to sponsor them, a little team, in the Downtown Dash. That way we would be supporting the Run program and the Downtown Dash. And I talked to Maury Abrams at Glendale Adventist, and she's one of the chairs, and she thinks that they're going to offer a special early enrollment. And if a team enrolls at an earlier date, they actually will qualify to have a percentage of whatever they earn or fundraise. So it sounds like a really good idea. Maybe we can get the girls on the run we can sponsor their team, Women's Commission on the Status of Women sponsors, and then perhaps earn money for scholarships for that program. Are there any comments on that? We'll be discussing this further in January, but today we just kind of want to okay the calendar, and so are there any comments after that?
The only comment I have about the Mammogram Awareness Day, the National Mammogram Awareness Day is actually the third Friday in October. So I would hope we can coincide that to match with whatever that third Friday is.
Okay. We'll contact Wanda Wheeler over at Glendale Memorial and see what we can work out and try to get all of the hospitals involved, including Kaiser.
Right.
Right. Any other comments?
I think it's wonderful that we're expanding our health awareness topics. to include bone awareness and mammogram and so on, and perhaps beginning of next year there's probably other issues that we can include that's not going to be time intensive and work intensive, but would be promoting advocacy for women's health issues. And I know attending that women's health conference given by Carol Liu and Dr. Watts doing the presentation on women's issues, it really opened my eyes to the different issues aside from breast cancer awareness. So that would be good.
Well, we have an opportunity here to bring in a speaker every month to address us and all the women that are watching the meeting. And I think every month we should have a professional come in and speak to us about each one of these health issues. And then that way I think we are really doing our best to raise awareness each month of something special. And if there's a month that is not like a special awareness month, if you have a cause or a health issue that you think is important and you want to bring to the forefront, I think that would be a great opportunity.
Excellent suggestion, yeah.
I think that's great, and to carry that a little further, I have a complete list for the year of all the health days or months or weeks.
The things.
For Kaiser Permanente, we look for stories and our doctors that can speak to that.
Great.
So I would be happy to submit that, and then we can all look at maybe some of our own physicians or doctors that we know fit one for each month.
Excellent.
And I would assist with that as well.
Absolutely. So yes, great. And so if you can submit that to Ms. Haddad, that calendar, I think that would be an excellent.
Send it out tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Commissioner, Chair Devine, I'd like to also say I'm really happy to see the stroke awareness. It's something that's very close to my heart. And also, I'd like to say that we could collaborate with the Y on the breast awareness with their Encore Plus program. I think they have an Encore Plus program, and we could work together with them on that issue in the month of October. And also Girls on the Run. It's a phenomenal program. I'm very excited to work with them and sponsor a team. I'm all for it. So whenever there's a need.
Great. Very good. So do we have do I need a motion to adopt the calendar?
Chair Devine?
Yes.
I just want to make a comment too that all these suggestions and ideas, I think it's wonderful. And I'm thinking about the strategic plan. So some of these suggestions can be can meld into the strategic plan, and thereon we're taking concrete steps and identifiable action items to really pursue our goals and objectives.
Absolutely. Good
and
point.
Just you mentioning every month to have a guest speaker, and then Commissioner Manasarian mentioning the organizations that in itself, addresses the new goals that we've set for ourselves.
Exactly. Good point. Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to accept the calendar as submitted?
So move.
I second.
Thank you. Next item, please. Was there a consensus?
Yes.
Unanimous? Yes, sorry. I forgot about the others, sorry.
Chair Devine.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Perhaps at this point we can get some of the input from our student ex-officials in terms of what they think about the focus on health awareness and maybe some suggestions on future topics.
Just because I enjoy, sports, so I think it's a great opportunity to get a committee together and actually go and do that. I think it's a very good idea.
Great.
In terms of having a guest speaker come each month, I really like that idea. And it would also be nice if, in addition to speakers who would inform us about health, if there would be a lot of more like financial seminars in that sort of deal, because like many of the commissioners have stated, we're like in an economic recession. I mean, sure, the gas prices have like reduced like crazy now, which is really good, especially since we're both getting our licenses within like the next year. But yeah, it would be nice to be financially smart within this kind of period. So.
Well, that's wonderful and a good idea, and we have Money Matters salons that we put on for women and families, so that's one of our main objectives, so we're right on your radar. So thank you very much.
And I believe Ms. Haddad sent us a flyer on, is it a contest for junior financial literacy?
Junior achievement,
Yeah.
financial literacy. I don't have the details of that, but yeah.
And I think we sent it out to our own, lists and so on. And that's wonderful because it focuses on building economic literacy for the youth. And I think you ladies received that flyer.
Also, the curriculum that was at Rosie Camp was from Junior Achievement, so
okay.
actually, Commissioner Marcotte is already familiar with their work.
Good. Next item.
Next item on the agenda item 7, B1, update on the 2009 Yellow Ribbon Week Enhanced project donation to Glendale Unified School District. Actually, some very exciting news. And trying to work within the constraints of the budget that we had allocated or that were allocated for the HANDS project, I was in conversations with GUSD staff and letting them know that I would have to limit the number of banners because I couldn't fit 30 or 29 into the budget that I had. And they ended up getting authorization to purchase, to cover the shipping costs, which are a huge amount of money for us to take away from the actual materials, and also to purchase 10 additional banners so that their administration building will also be carrying the banner of the Hands and Words Are Not for Hurting project. So the school district is really showing some strong initiative and support for the program to the point of also investing their own money into the program, which is a very heartening sign.
Great. Comments from commissioners?
I think it's wonderful to see Glendale Unified support us in terms of the financial commitment, especially during our tight economic times, too. It shows more commitment.
And that's part of the strategic plan, I think, to look for more partnership in the city, and I think that's wonderful that they stepped up.
Well, we all know it's a wonderful program, and the best part about it is the fact that it's not only that the students that are taking the oath, but parents have started to do it as well, and that is always a step in the right direction. So I hope our ex officios will help us to kind of broadcast that program and help it along. And we're really grateful to the school district. Next item, please.
Agenda item 7B2, an update on the CEDAW resolution. Just a quick report to let you know that City Council moved unanimously to support a resolution supporting the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women on November 25th, which is, of course, the International Day to End Violence Against Women. That puts Glendale at a very progressive place in terms of California City is very consistent with California State, which has already adopted resolutions. San Francisco and Los Angeles actually implement CEDAW as part of their city ordinances. So, but there was a lot to be very, very proud of in terms of the adoption of the resolution for CEDAW. Wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. Any comments from the commissioners? I want to personally thank Sandy Schultz, who is president of Seroptimist International of Glendale, for being at the city council meeting that night to support this commission. She's a very strong advocate for women's rights, and it was very, very kind and generous of her to be there that night and wait for that agenda item. And we were so thrilled. It was really amazing when we got a unanimous vote. So I personally, and on behalf of all the commissioners, thank the City Council, and I thank them again tonight because it really was a big step for women, and we thank them for their support. And that's it for the agenda.
Next item.
Next item, please.
Agenda item 8, Commissioner and staff comments.
Okay, would we like to go around the dais, please, and if you have any comments or announcements, Commissioner Lamel?
Oh, I would just say, since this is our last meeting for December, happy holidays to everyone, and Happy New Year.
Mr. Manasarian?
Again, I wanted to congratulate Chair Carla Curlin, or actually Judge Carla Curlin, in her new position as a Superior Court judge. And I also wanted to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and have a wonderful New Year. And we're looking forward to a great 2009 with women's health issues. Thank you.
Happy holidays from me. Thank you.
Ditto on the happy holidays, but also I want to congratulate Commissioner Lamel for being featured in the NAFI, National Association of Female Executives, the current newspaper magazine, right? Yes. And I think in that article she also mentioned about the jewels of Glendale and the things that we do. So that in itself is part of the publicity that we're getting for free. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And also, I'd like to invite the community. The Filipino American Business Association of Glendale is having its mixer, end of the year mixer, at the Katsuya restaurant at the Americana. And we have exciting programs that we want to unveil, and some of those programs include financial literacy, the partnerships that we're having with different community organizations that in return we can also partner with the Commission on the Status of Women, and some of the programs that we're going to be talking about are loan modification programs, credit management, investments, and those kinds of issues that is apropos for the during the economic times that we have.
And when is that?
Oh, it's on Wednesday, December 10, at 6:30 p.m. at the Katsuya restaurant.
Great.
Thank you.
Commissioner Malakian?
I would just like to say that I'm really looking forward to the following year and working with all of you to advance women's health. I'm really looking forward to a great year.
I'd just like to say that happy holidays, everyone, like a lot of you said, and it's just nice to end the year successfully and to kick off the year successfully, too. So this is an honor.
Thank you. Staff?
Just a couple of things as we sort of close the year out. I want to wish everybody here a holiday filled with family and love, and also a moment to remember the people that don't have what we all share here, which is close families, and some people who are displaced in our city, who are hungry in our city, and we just would ask that everybody take a moment to be a little bit more aware of people around us who don't have the blessings that we do have. And then also, as a surprise, sort of last week, we found out that our very own Vice Chair Devine, who is now our acting chair, was awarded the Citizen of the Year Award from the Glendale Realtors Association, which represents 400-plus realtors in the city, which is quite a surprise. Nobody knew about it at all, and I got a call in the afternoon telling me about that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a big surprise, believe me. But I'm very honored with the award, and I just want all of you to know that that is a result of the work that we do. It is not just my award. It is an award that is given to me because of everything that I do with you, and it's my pleasure to be out in the community and taking the word of the Commission and our work there to the people. I want to welcome, I didn't have a chance last week to welcome our two new commissioners, ex officios, and welcome, and it's great to have you aboard, and I look forward to working with both of you for the next year. Okay, you're welcome. I did attend the Leadership Circle a couple of weeks ago on Saturday, and the subject of that particular Leadership Circle was things you are grateful for, and I had just come back from a trip, so I was very grateful to be back in the United States. So I just wanted to say, if you have not been to any of the Leadership Circle meetings on Saturday, and girls, you should, commissioners, you should try to go to one. They're wonderful. It's our mentoring program for Rosie Goes to Wall Street grads and friends, and it's a fantastic program. I want to wish everyone a happy holiday. Don't forget that this is the time of the year to give. There are people less fortunate than we are, and this is the time. If you can't give money, you might be able to give clothes or food or even your time. If you volunteer an hour or 2 hours somewhere in the community, maybe at a hospital or at the YW or any place that needs just a little bit of help, you'll feel a lot better. And I hate to be trite, but it is better to give than to receive. So I wish everybody a happy holiday, and again, we are looking forward to 2009. I think the Commission has some great programs coming up for the community, and we're all looking forward to that. If my colleagues would agree, I'd like to adjourn the meeting tonight in memory of Beverly Garland. She's an actress from TV, the stage, and movies, and most of you are too young to know who she is. I know that. But we were graced by her presence 3 years ago at Relay for Life. She was diagnosed with lung cancer about 6 years ago, and after going through treatment, she was doing very, very well, and we contacted her, and she came to our Relay for Life event in October, and she was our inspirational speaker. She was so gracious and beautiful and so happy to be in recovery. And 2 years ago, I called to ask her to come back because she was so well received. But her publicist told me that she wasn't feeling well, and I was kind of afraid at that point. But I found out Saturday that she had passed away from the disease and of cancer, of course. And but I just wanted to say, according to the obituary in the LA Times yesterday, she was a very strong woman. Kind of the woman that we are aspiring to be. She was gracious, she was kind, and she was brave. And so if you all agree, I would like to adjourn this meeting tonight in memory of Beverly Garland. So I'm now requesting a motion for adjournment.
So,
Second.
Thank you all, and motion is carried, and we are adjourned at 7:33.